Hey there, grade sevens. Welcome back from the break. Hopefully you had a nice relaxing time. You weren't too bored and you had stuff to do over your spring break. We are actually at the end of this chapter. I know it's weird that we learned the whole thing online. So what we're actually going to do today and this week is we are going to make this week more of a review week. And there's some areas that I want to help us focus on. And then there's some areas that I just want to review with you. Just a reminder, I have my office hours, so you can zoom in with me if you have questions anytime at 2, or you can email me, send me a hangout, and I'm available through those as well. So for today's class, I actually want to talk about the word problems. Because this seems to be an area that a lot of students struggle with. Okay, and so I'm going to give you a couple. I'm just going to say what they are. Don't feel free to pause the video, write them down, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to solve them all in the end. Okay, so the first one is 5 more than a number is 22. Okay, 5 more than a number is 22. Okay, so assuming that you've paused, I'm saying 5 more than a number. So I'm saying n plus 5 equals 22. Okay? 5 more than a number equals 22. So what is my number? What is n? In this situation, when I do my opposite operation, so I need to subtract 5 from both sides, 22 minus 5, I get n equals 17. Okay? The second one, 7 less than a number is 31. 7 less than a number is 31. Okay? So that means I actually have a number and then it's 7 less. So n minus 7 equals, what did I say, 31. Okay? So pause it, try to solve it. Okay? When I'm actually trying to solve it, I have to do the opposite operation. So I have to add 7 to the other side. So I get n equals 38. The next one, 6 times a number is 54. 6 times a number is 54. Okay, so 6 times a number, 6n, equals 54. Okay. So I can solve this by doing my opposite operation. So the opposite of multiplication is division. So I can divide. So that's going to give me n equals 9. So 6 times 9 equals 54. Okay. One more. A number divided by 8 is 9. So a number divided by 8 equals 9. Okay, if I'm doing my opposite operation, okay, I have divided by 8, so I have to now be multiplied by 8. I did have some students ask me, they're like, hey, how come we've got fractions? Well, like I said, it's not really a fraction, it's the same as division. Okay, so we have something divided by 8 is 9. So when I go put it over and I do 9 times 8, I end up getting n to equal 72. Okay, 9 times 8 equals 72, or I can say 72 divided by 8 equals 9. All right. So those are some of the problems that students have had in the past, and I know that that's an area that you will still struggle with. All right. So I've got this nice word problem. So Jan collects foreign stamps. Okay. Her friend gives her 8 stamps. Jan then has 21 stamps. How many stamps did she start with? Okay. So what we're saying is her friend gave her something, and she had stamps to begin with, and she now has 21. Okay, when we're looking at that question. So Jan collects foreign stamps. Her friend gave her 8 stamps. Jan then had 21 stamps. Okay, so how many did she start with? Now we can subtract. Okay, so if we've got S for stamps, so we end up getting S equals, when I subtract 8 from both sides, so S equals 13. Okay, so Jan started with 13 stamps in this situation. Okay, the next one. I'll give you a couple more word problems. So Ned spent $36 on a new badminton racket. Okay. He had $45 left. How much money did he have before he bought the racket? Okay. So we're saying he spent $36. So we have, in this situation, we have n minus 36 equals 45. Okay. He started with a set amount of money. He spent 36. He had 45 remaining. Okay, so now we have to add 36 to both sides. Okay, and then we get n to equal 81. Okay, so he had $81. Okay, the next one. Lori sold 13 books for $208. All books had the same price. What was the price of each book? I'll say it one more time. Lori sold 13 books and she made a total of $208. So when you're looking at total, you always know that your total is going to be on the one side of your equal sign for your equation. Now, what did she sell? She sold books. Okay, so let's say B. Okay, how many books did she sell? 13. So 13 times B equals 206. So we actually have to divide by 13 and divide by 13. Okay. When we do this, we end up getting B equaling 16. So each book was sold for $16. Okay, so if you go 16 times 13, you're going to get 208. Okay, I'll give you one more question, and then that'll be it. And then I'll tell you how you're going to do your homework. Okay, Maurice sorts some dominoes. He divides them into 15 groups with 17 dominoes in each group. How many dominoes does Maurice sort? Okay, so this is actually a little bit different than probably what you're expecting. Okay, so what he's saying is we have 15 groups and we've got 17 in each, and that's going to equal our answer. Okay, that's going to tell us how many dominoes we actually had. Okay, so it's a little bit backwards. This is like a normal math question that you're used to. Okay, where your variable is not on the same side as some of your math work. Okay, so when we multiply these together, we end up getting 255 dominoes. Okay. All right. So for your homework, I'm going to have a Google form for you to fill out. Just a reminder, 2 o'clock every single day, I will be available for your homework club to answer any questions you might have. If you just want to chat, if you want to get some extra questions, there are some Google forms, some athletics activities that have been assigned to you. You can practice some of those. There's Khan Academy. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can actually do. Okay. For the next lesson this week, it'll be another review lesson. And what it's actually going to be is just regular solving of the equations. So I'll make them a little bit harder, just to try to push your understanding. And then we'll talk about what the unit test is going to look like and how we're actually going to be able to go through that. All right. Have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions.